Thanks everyone for coming. I know it's the first session after lunch, so everyone's pretty sleepy. It's Friday afternoon, but I appreciate you all coming here. My name is Derek Fahey. I'm a Director of Product at Sitecore. My main responsibilities day to day is the data and analytics side of the house in Sitecore. Responsible now for the UDL, which we're going to talk about today, our Unified Data Layer, also the CDP product, and a little bit of Connect. But if you have any Connect questions, I saw Ivan here, who's going to answer all them for me. I've been working more than 10 years with data platforms. I came into Sitecore as part of the BoxEver acquisition. So I've spent many a year working on CDP as a product. Everyone here, I hope, knows what SitecoreAI is. So the way we see it and the way we break it down is into these different pillars. So conversion optimization, brand context, AI discovery, inflow agentic experiences, and unified content. But today I'm really going to concentrate on the kind of conversion optimization audiences side of the house. So to break that down a bit more, we have what we call our audiences and insights. You'll hear that, you'll hear unified data layer. They go hand in hand with each other. Audiences and insights being the functionality, the features that we develop, but everything is run off and powered by, when I talk conversion optimization, by the unified data layer. So what is it? It is an evolution of CDP. So for everyone who's familiar here with Sitecore's product portfolio, we have multiple products across our portfolio, including CDP, personalized search. A couple of years ago, we went with composable was the way forward. Anyone who was at Symposium would have heard Eric standing up on stage and saying we are now composed. So we made a conscious decision about 9 months ago now to bring all our products back together onto one platform. And multiple reasons for that. If most of you guys in the room here would have worked on projects where you had a search implementation and a personalized implementation, you had profiles in both systems, they didn't really talk to each other. You wanted to set up tracking, you had to send events to both platforms. You basically had to integrate our own products together, which is not great. So we made that decision to build a unified data layer, which will drive both conversion optimization, being personalized features and also search features. A big change of that for us was more technical level is we've rebuilt everything that we had on AWS into Azure. So we brought all our products from dual cloud into one cloud. And again, a good reason for that was we're now in an AI world. AI needs context. AI needs that underlying data to be able to then power those decisions that it needs to make. If that's disparate, if it's across different cloud providers, you have to make calls outside your walled gardens, it's not going to work for you. So we're making sure that we have all the data that you need to run your campaigns, to be able to do everything you want within the one infrastructure. I wasn't going to bring this, but a few have asked about the technical of what we've actually done. So just to quickly go through, we've rebuilt everything on AKS using Cosmos. As I said, I come from BoxEver, which was a platform that's probably about 15 years was started from. Obviously, it evolved over time, but those architectural decisions made those years ago that don't really work for us anymore. So this was a good way of reimagining how we wanted our data platform to work. A big one for me, like we've removed that kind of noisy neighbor situation where one customer was bombarding us with events that might affect our latency. Everything now is fully scalable, out of the box, ingestion at 1,000 events per second. Customer rollout. Today we have 138 customers live on Unified Data Layer and Conversion Optimization. So they've been seamlessly migrated from what was personalized embedded, was the feature set that we called it. So that was XM Cloud, had out-of-the-box page level personalization. It had 3 analytics dashboards. You got lightweight stuff, you got A/B tested. We've moved all that over now for those customers. They now have all those features on Azure, plus new features like there's now 6 dashboards. They've got custom conditions within personalization, plus all the ones you're about to see now are going to come pretty fast over the next couple of weeks and months ahead. So everything that we're producing for both the UDL and conversion optimization, all these customers will get straight away. There's partner comms coming pretty soon in terms of what's going to happen with your own organizations. So those that have SitecoreAI already, like, I don't see these features. We've concentrated on customers first, but you guys will be next as part of the rollout plan. The big thing and the big question I get asked all the time is, what about CDP and personalized? So customers who have those products, right now, they are not going to have the same features if we move them over. So we're waiting till we get to that parity of outcome within SitecoreAI before we start talking to you and then helping you to migrate over. We want to make that as seamless as possible with little to no no downtime, but as integrations as simple as possible. For those 138 customers, as I said, there was no integration changes. The events they sent to what was AWS, we're automatically porting them to Azure. So we're also changing the data model. So it's our new data model, which I'll talk to later on, but we're not actually making customers make any changes. And we want to do that for CDP and personalized customers, but obviously there's a lot more in there than it was with just the embedded offering. So plans for that are still to come, but that is our aim, is that customers with SitecoreAI plus CDP and personalized will be the next to be moved over. Okay, looking ahead. I do apologize about the wall of text, but these are going to be shared afterwards. So I kind of left all this in here for anyone who wants to take this stuff after. Anything you see now in the next couple of slides, I'm going to do a demo at the end. So I'll go into a lot more details. But 2 weeks ago, the start of the month, in the last month, we released profiles. A lot of these features, maybe some people might be saying, but you had that already. Like, I have CDP, I can see that, all right. But this is all about, as I said, moving everything into one platform, but making it better. So now within profiles, you will get affinity calculations. You'll be able to have that real-time engagement values that will be calculated against your profile. Coming over the next couple of months, we'll also introduce profile and session traits, which will automatically calculate once you're online against that profile. The geolocation session map that you see there as well, I'll show that a bit more in the demo. But the big thing as well within SitecoreAI now we have is identity resolution as well. So before, if you just had XM Clouds, with personalized embedded, you didn't know who that person was. It was a lightweight version. You had 30 days of data to look back on. That's now 90 days. You'll also be able to do that cross-channel personalization, be able to give that same experience to the same person across devices once they've identified. But it removes and moves us that step forward in terms of where we were before when it came to profiles. Audiences, this is one of my favorite ones. Segmentation today, and I'm going to keep doing this, but there's reasons for it. What we had in CDP and where we are now today with our audiences. CDP was built on top of a snapshot of data every 24 hours. It looked back over all your data. It was powerful. It could do what you want. But today, in today's world, that doesn't work anymore. You have a campaign you want to get live. You have an idea this morning. You want that live by lunchtime. You will have brief generators. You have content generators that can do all that work for you. But if you want to target an audience, you can't wait 24 hours. You've lost already. So what we've done with this now, we've fully rebuilt it so that when you have your audience, you build it. And you can see there, and I'll show it as well in the demo, we now have a natural language AI assistant that you can talk to, type in what audience you want, and it'll automatically build that for you. So instead of you having to know the data structure behind, I want to target people who've been on my site in the last 3 months, I have to write some calculation to figure out events and all that stuff. You can just ask for it and it will build it for you. The big one again though on this is once you've done that and you set it live, within minutes, it'll be ready for you to action on. So that's gone from a 24-hour refresh period to, it will refresh every 4 to 6 hours, but it'll be built straight away for you once you need it. The main reason for that 4 to 6 hours is there's a different data set look back. So that real-time personalization, we give 90 days, as I talked about earlier on. So that's for making sure we can do sub 200 millisecond personalization in the moment requests. So when you call us, we can give you back our answer within sub 200 milliseconds. So that's why it's 90 days. Audience, though, we want to make sure you can capture that audience of people who have been on your site and way back in the past. So we're going to allow for 15 months of look back, and that's to account for seasonality stuff. So you want to run a campaign for summer holidays coming up. You want to make sure you capture everyone from the summer before and before that again. When they were looking, people might be looking at Christmas last year for summer holidays and stuff like that. So we're allowing, there's going to be a 15-month look back, and that's why then we can, it's a 4 to 6 hour refresh. It's not going to be as instant as real-time personalization. Where's Boris? There you are. Here you go, Boris. This is what you keep asking me about. Coming this month is direct Microsoft Fabric integration. So this is a zero data copy to Fabric. Again, in CDP, we have our AWS Datalake that we can send that out to customers. Again, they can come in every 24 hours. They can pull from an S3 bucket. But what we'll be able to produce now is a direct connection to your Fabric instance. I know people might think that's a bit limited, but that's what we're starting with. A lot of the customers we talk to have this. They're ready for it. Microsoft are pouring a lot of money into Fabric at the moment, so it's only going to get better. So with this, you will be able to set up your connection with a couple of clicks within your Fabric instance, connect to your data within our Fabric, And with a zero data copy, you'll have access to that within minutes by the time it's made that connection. So that will auto refresh as well every few hours, so you can constantly get updated data through the data lake. The big difference with this and segmentation, so segmentation, I actually forgot to talk about, was it would allow you to export those segments as well. So you can pick data points, export it, use Sitecore Connect to send that to a third party. The data lake, though, is all your data. Again, going back to data retention, segmentation is 15 months, data lake is going to be over 4 years. So your 4 years of event data, session data, and profile data that you will store, and you'll be able to access pretty much immediately. Further cloud providers we will allow for coming up. So we're starting with Microsoft Fabric. It's just the easiest way to get it out, but it's really that zero data copy on Jason. And I want to make sure customers don't have to pay for this data transfer. But we will allow for AWS, Google Cloud providers as well in the future once we get this rolled out. Bit more on the technical side. Anyone that would have done an integration to CDP with and knew our data extension model would understand it was quite restricted. It was 6 objects of 100 key value pairs. It was fine. It could do most use cases, but we've totally changed that. So our new profile data model will allow for extensibility, allowing for lists, maps, objects, strings, ints, booleans, anything that you would pretty much want to be able to map to will allow for that now. So those segmentation features I talked about earlier on, real-time decisioning, you want to be able to use external data to personalize on, to segment against. So these APIs will allow you to ingest those profile data directly into SitecoreAI and use them instantly. Looking ahead, so the couple of slides I showed you there, I am going to go to a demo and show each one of them. Sorry, Boris, except for the Fabric one. I don't have a Fabric instance to show you. But just to kind of look past that then, so all those features are coming this quarter, so between April, May, and June. But looking ahead a bit to the future, what we're going to look at. Anyone that was at SUGCON yesterday, we talked about session conversions. So this is a bit will allow you to define what a session success looks like on your site. Not all sites are commerce sites. So obviously if someone's on your webpage and they've bought something, that's quite an easy metric to measure against for that session. It could be an informational site though. You might have a upcoming campaign. It might be SUGCON, and you want to get people to sign up for it. So a converted session for you in that sense is actually somebody who is signed up, enter their details into a form. Maybe it's a brochure download for your financial report for the last year. You send out an email campaign. You want to see how many people do that. So session conversions would allow you to define what you consider to be a converted session and will automatically do that for you then within the platform. And you can track that then against goals and see how your site is performing against those sessions. Moving on, content analytics is a big one that we're looking at. We want to be able to show you what content is working for you. So we want to give you those insights to say, you might have 50 images for your homepage carousel, but you don't actually know which ones are working for you, who is actually seeing them, who's clicking them. What kind of data have you? Like, is it stale data? Is it you think you have this really rich content, but because your personalization rules, maybe nobody's ever seen it, it's not actually being shown to anyone. So content analytics is a step below what would be the kind of behavioral analytics you see today, the kind of page views and stuff like that. It's really at the content level, what we're showing, what people are clicking on, scroll depth in terms of how many people are going below the fold and seeing what's there. But we want to go more than that as well. So we want to make sure we're showing like trend analysis, being able to get that deeper insights off to how that content is working on your site. On top of that then, excuse me, we're going to look at traits. So affinities I talked about earlier on, and I'll show a bit in the demo. They went live at the start of the year. We're going to enhance those. Currently at the moment, they're based on page views. So you can tag your pages to store an affinity based on someone who has gone onto that page. We want to make that obviously a lot better. So have stuff like weighted events. So if someone's on your site and they've added to cart, that weighs a lot more than just a page view. It shows their interest. They're a lot more interested in this individual product than just viewing the page. They've actually made some intent. We want to bring in decay so that we're not looking back over 90 days. Stuff in the past 48 hours is more relevant for the calculation than stuff from a couple of weeks ago. We're also going to have session traits and profile traits. So profile traits are ones that we will calculate for you and will persist against the profile. So as someone is coming onto the site and they're purchasing, we can show stuff like lifetime order value, how many orders in the last percentiles they've done. how often they're online. So just out of the box calculations that you can use yourself. But session traits, similar to session conversions, they will allow you to define exactly what you want to consider an important piece of information to persist on the profile. So if you want to capture someone as accepting T's and C's on the site, they've signed up to something that you don't want to show them stuff in the future, and you're worried the 90 days of data retention for that real-time personalization isn't enough, you could use a session trait to calculate and persist that then against the profile. Yeah, moving on again. So AI dashboards, everyone knows how much AI is taking over and what it's doing, but do you actually know who is coming onto your site? How often is Google coming on? How often is Perplexity, Anthropic, any of the big ChatGPT? We will be able to capture and know that those bots are visiting and they're requesting content, but we want to be able to show that to you. We want to be able to show you that over the past month, X AI company has been on your site this amount of times, who is coming, who is crawling, who is taking all that, not taking the data, but indexing that data for themselves. But then also differentiate between the question bots and the knowledge bots, who is actually coming and taking all that stuff and crawling your site. Currently in SitecoreAI, as I mentioned earlier, we have 6 out-of-the-box dashboards, but we want to make those APIs available for the marketplace. So we've had quite a few conversations with people who actually want to, while they like the data that's there, they actually want to use it in a different way from themselves. So that data is it's already available, but we want to make sure those APIs are available to you now, so you can actually build your own custom dashboards. Maybe you want the page views, but you also want to have a dashboard that shows null search results that people are looking for, and just create your own view of the dashboards. We did actually look at doing this ourselves and just being able to customize it, but we want to actually give you guys the opportunity to do that yourself and make it a lot more flexible. So putting those APIs on the marketplace. Finally, audience insights then is a big one for us that we want to be able to release in the coming future. While it's great having that segmentation tool and the audience builder, that's only good if you know what you want to build. But we want to be able to show you stuff that's happening with your data without you having to go and find it first of all. So we want to show you those trends, those insights, be able to tell you that at certain times of the week, this page is just non-responsive. There's maybe some operational reasons for it, or there's a huge bounce rate on this landing page because some content mightn't be working anymore. There's dead clicks or something like that. A lot of that stuff you might not know until way in the future, and it's too late. But we want to be able to show you based on what your audience is doing and give you those kind of tangible insights that you can then action on and use those for your marketing campaigns. Right. Moment of truth. Everyone take out your phone, please. I'm going to get you to scan this QR code and pray the demo gods are working. So you will get a form, it's first name, last name, email, and a little question. Your information will be on screen, so if you don't want to use please don't put any profanities. And if you want to put in a fake email, that's fine, but don't use test or something that everyone else might use, because the profiles will merge together and you won't see everybody on it. So just use something unique if you can. Okay. Did everyone get that? Yep. Okay, this is working. A lot of people online. Good. Well, that's just kind of coming through. I just want to show you what I've done here. So within identity rules now, within SitecoreAI, I've set up an identity rule for email. So as you can see, I have an email field. I'm sending an identity event when you submit that form, and that's going to capture that email. I've also set up affinities for people's favorite products. So based on what you've selected, it will calculate an affinity for that product. So I'm seeing now here, hopefully a lot of people, 20 people live in London. So this is a new screen. Anyone who's seen the profiles already, like what we released a couple of weeks ago, it's just a list page at the moment. It's quite boring. We wanted to make that a lot better. So this is informational when you have it. It mightn't drive a lot of value for you, but if you've just put something live, you want to see are people actually coming onto your site in real time, this will allow for that. So right now I can see there's 20 people here. Someone's using a VPN on their phone, I think. Someone's in Leeds, which is a bit weird. The geolocation is done via Cloudflare, so you blame them if it's not 100% accurate. But I can see here on the, no profanity, nice. John Doe, Jan. So if I have Morton, good man. If I go in here, Morton's favorite product right now is XMXP, Content Hub, and SitecoreAI. So just by those ticks, we were able to calculate in real time the affinity as it's coming in. And then obviously you can use that then in all those personalization features we talked about earlier on. Let's see if anyone else. So close. Big fan of everything. So content up order class, like XMXP. Well, you're obviously there twice, so it's calculated 2 views. You refresh the page. There you go. That's a nice test. Thank you. That wasn't a plant at all, so thanks for that. Yes, and I might have rushed through all of that a bit too fast, but that is everything. So thank you. Questions? No?
As far as Fabric integration,
Hold on, we need a mic.
As far as integration with external sources like Fabric, so you have your own Fabric, right? You have medallion architecture there. So we're going to have access to your gold product, right? Which means that you're going to have to refresh all data into gold layer before we can...
It's not the goal layer. It's the data lake.
Data lake.
It's the data lake. So it's
So we're going to have access to literally raw data.
Yes, the raw data at the end. Yeah. Yeah. So the idea being is like 4 years of all data. Yep. Yeah. The idea there being we're never going to be able to build enough dashboards to suit everybody. So we want to make that as easy accessible for you guys to build that for our customers to build it. Obviously, once it's in Fabric, it's quite easy then to get into like the Power BI and everything like that. So being able to use that data then to refresh on that quicker refresh rate of every few hours instead of 24.
You're going to pull data from Cosmos DB into Data Lake.
It's not going Cosmos to Data Lake, it's Fabric. It goes in both directions. So Cosmos is our data store for the profiles.
So you use event
yes. Event of event
so it's almost near real-time data in that case.
Actually, I've been working with Fabric, the Fabric team and Microsoft have been on this. They have a real-time event house to event house stream that we potentially might look at, but that will work for you. It's not going to work for every customer. The Fabric integration with the zero copy data just suits a lot more of our customer base. Being able to set up that integration, that real-time stream in the Fabric, yes, it's great, but the value you'll get from that compared to the cost you pay for it doesn't equate. So the equation, the best for our customers is to allow that zero data copy.
What other data sources are in your roadmap? Do you have like Snowflake or any others that if our customers aren't using Fabric that we might want to send the raw data to?
Yeah, at the moment we will be looking to be able to get that into like AWS, Azure Blob, more of a data storage than an actual product. And from there you can take that and move that into your own if you have Snowflake or anything like that. But yeah, the top three for me would be AWS S3, Azure Blob and GCP. Once it's there, a lot of customers will just can have it in-house then from there and take it off, move it like so.
Any other questions?
No.
If
Thanks,
not,
folks.
Thanks, Derek.
I appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.